Hello friends, in this video we dive deep into Bhagavad Gita's chapter 2 verse 28 where Lord Krishna or Bhagwan Krishna reveals a profound truth about the nature of all created beings. And it says within quotes, all beings are unmanifested before birth, manifest during the interim, which is your lifespan, and again get unmanifested after death. Quote close. What does this mean for us in the 21st century? While many of us view Gita as purely a religious text, this specific shlok offers a remarkable scientific perspective on the cycle of life and death. Let us explore this further. Have you ever looked at the photograph of yourself as a child and wondered, where did this version of me go? Or looked at the night sky and wondered where we all come from before we take our first breath? In the vast timeless or the timeline of the universe, billions of years of cosmic evolution, human life is a mere blink, a flash of light between two long stretches of darkness. Thousands of years ago, a battlefield called Kurukshetra, a prince named Arjun was paralyzed by the fear of death and the grief of loss. To guide him, Krishna spoke words that sounds less like traditional religion and more like laws of physics. So, in chapter 2, verse 28, Gita says, quotes begins, being are manifested in their origin, manifested in their middle state, and unmanifested again in their end. And when then, O Arjun, should there be any grief? Quote close. Today we are going to bridge this ancient wisdom with modern science to understand why learning is the most sacred thing we can do during our brief moment on earth or during the light as per the shloka. Let's look at the first part of that verse. Unmanifest in their origin. In modern science, we talk about the laws of conservation of mass. It states that matter cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. Before you atoms that make up your body existed in different form. We were the carbon in the mountains, oxygen in a distant forest, and yes, the literal stardust from the exploding suns billions of years ago. You were unmanifested as human being, but you were present as potential. In Gita, the word used is avakta. It means unperceived or invisible. Science agrees before the assembly of your DNA, the idea of you was invisible to the physical eye. Death, the verse suggests, is simply a return to that avakta state. Why we understand this in a greater detail or accept it, we don't cease to be, we simply exist the frequency of the manifestation. Think of it like water vapor. When it's in the air, you can't see it unmanifest. When it cools, it becomes visible raindrop, and when it evaporates, it doesn't disappear from the universe, it just becomes unmanifested again. Now let's talk about the mid state. Krishna says we are manifest in the middle. This is the living window. This is the 70, 80 or 100 years where the universe has given you a set of sense and a brain to perceive it. This is where the scientific learning comes in. If we are only visible and conscious for this brief middle period, isn't it our highest duty to understand the mechanics of this reality? Science is the tool we use to decode the manifest. When we study biology, we are studying the miracles of how the unmanifest becomes a living, breathing cell. When we study physics, we are studying the rules of the playground Bhagwan Krishna calls manifest. To live without seeking to learn is like being invited to a world-class theater performance and keeping your eyes closed the whole time. Scientific learning isn't just for labs, It's a way of honoring the gift of being manifest. Krishna ends the verse with a challenging question. Why then, O Arjun, should there be any grief? This sounds cold at first, but science gives us a beautiful way to interpret this. If we understand that life and death are just a shift in the state of manifestation, grief changes its shape also, isn't it? We grieve because we attach to the form, but science teaches us that the essence, the energy, never leaves the room. When a star dies, it creates a heavy element necessary for life. Its death is the unmanifesting of a star so that it can manifest as a planet, a tree, or a human being, or any other living organism. By learning the science of life and death, we realize that ending are just transitions. Gita is urging us to look past the temporary form and see the eternal cycle. When we we understand the cycle, the fear of darkness before birth and after death vanishes. You realize you belong to the whole universe, not just one body. So why does this 7,000-year-old verse matter to humans of today? Because we live in age of distraction. We often forget that we are cosmic travelers in a temporary manifest state. Scientific learning and spiritual wisdom are two sides of the same coin. Science tells us how the unmanifest become the manifest. Gita tells us why we shouldn't be afraid when the cycle completes itself. Your life is a rare opportunity for the universe to look at itself through your eyes. Don't waste it. Learn, observe, experiment, and grow. You come from stardust. You are currently a soul in a manifest body, and you eventually will return to infinite unmanifest. In the meantime, let's make the middle state count. So, friends, what do you think about this? Thank you for joining me on this journey between atoms and the infinite. If this perspective helped you, consider sharing it with someone who might be searching for peace. Until next time, keep learning and stay curious.